Four guys who made runs, including Kulsekara. Between you have more than, I think, 1,100 caps. How much of a factor was experience out there? Because you saw the England middle order not quite kick on after the start that they got.
Well, it's hard to say whether it was experience or whether it was just, the way we adapted really quickly. Maybe, it's probably a bit of both. But if you're young and fresh, you have very little fear. And we saw it from guys like Joe Root who came in and they were lapping and reverse lapping right from the start, which is great to watch. But we had, like you said, 2 or 3 experienced guys who were proper batsmen. But Kulsekara coming in showed that he can handle a bat as well. So experience counts, but you need to have that good mixture of youth as well.
Anga, how satisfying was it to come back, being bowled out for 138 and then beat England, chasing almost 300?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I thought the wicket was quite different. I thought the wicket was flattened out really well right throughout the game. We planned to try and get through Jimmy Anderson's overs. We know how dangerous Jimmy can be as well as Swan, and everyone else in support managed to get through those tough periods pretty well. It's a shame. We had our chances. We probably should have won in Cardiff. We tried everything we could, and probably lost the game through no fault of our own. But coming here and winning this was a good, I think, confidence boost for us going into Australia.
How surprised were you to see Kulsekara walk to the wicket, or was that something that had been discussed before?
Well, it's strange, isn't it? If that didn't work, I think the team would have been torn to shreds. Angelo would have taken a lot of stick and criticism, saying, "Oh, what was he doing, and what were the coaches thinking?" But when it does work, it's fantastic. So decisions like that can go both ways. I thought it was really strong of Angelo and the coaching staff to have taken that decision, and everyone in our dressing room backs it. The decisions that everyone takes really supports each other. And it's great to see how it worked. And Kulsekara batted very intelligently. I think that was the difference in that situation, because it was easy for him to come and try and hit every ball. But he batted sensibly through the power play and then accelerated right after.
Form behind you, half century in the previous game and century in this one. That must be pretty pleasing. Yeah,
it is. It's just a case of, you go in and out of form at certain times. But 50-over cricket, and when you come and prepare really hard and well leading up to a series, it does pay off. I worked pretty hard in the first 2 weeks that we were here in the practice games as well as in practice, and I'm pretty happy that it worked for me.
Hi, Kumar, as there often seem to be at Sri Lankan games in England, there were protesters outside the ground today, and they also had a banner up overlooking the stands calling for a boycott of the Sri Lankan national team. I was just wondering if that's upsetting to you as a group of players and how you feel about it.
I think, as a group of players, from Sri Lanka, we represent every Sri Lankan, both at home and abroad. And we're very proud to play for Sri Lanka, and we're very proud to be Sri Lankan. So I don't think it upsets or it bothers us at all. I think we're very happy, we're very proud, and we're very happy to be here representing our country.
Kumar, at the interval, what did you think of the score that you were chasing? Do you think 293 was about right, about par, or a bit under par?
I thought England was looking really strong at one point, probably heading towards the 300 mark. But the few wickets in the middle, especially Lassit, the way he came back and bowled was exceptional. But it was really important for us to take momentum going back into the dressing room. But I think Bopara really managed to put some extra pressure on us by scoring 28 off their last over. What would have been 270 suddenly became 293, and that's a big margin. But it's a do-or-die situation, so everyone was probably pretty pumped up to try and go and win the game. I think Angie brought us together just before we walked off the field and said, it's do or die. Someone step up or everyone step up and try and win the game. So I think but luck or ability or whatever, we managed to get through.
Kumar, Yesterday, Angelo said that the feeling in the group was really high after what was a loss in Cardiff. You've been around for a few of these campaigns. Is there a feeling that Sri Lanka know how to play tournament cricket and know how to ignite at the right time and get their act together off the back of a performance?
Well, we've done pretty well in big tournaments, but I think we need to keep working on starting tournaments really well. In Cardiff, I thought it was a poor batting performance by us. At the end of the game, you kind of look at the game and you understand how important another 20 runs could have been. And I probably have to take a lot of the responsibility for that, because I could have scored that 30-40 runs extra batting with Rangana Herat, which I failed to do. If we had, the ifs and buts are there when you look back at Cardiff, thinking, oh, what if we had converted that game? By right now we would probably be in the semi-finals. But we've got no one. Well, we've got to take responsibility for ourselves and keep playing well throughout tournaments like this, because every match counts. Now, going to Australia, hopefully, now that we've understood how to win one game in the Champions Trophy after a poor start, we can hopefully convert that into a second win.
Kumar, given sort of some of the disappointments in World Finals recently for yourselves, how special is an innings like that when you sort of face an elimination if you don't win?
Well, you wish you'd scored an innings like that in one of those finals rather than here. So, but scoring runs is pretty satisfying. But a preliminary round doesn't compare to a World Cup final.
We're a bit annoyed that the ball was changed after 25 overs. Were you surprised that? Did you give the umpires any quiet encouragement to change the ball? Because it was starting to reverse there a little bit.
No, not really. I think the umpires had a look at it and changed the ball. I don't think any of the batsmen had anything to say before that or after that to the umpires. So I think it was just the ball being either damaged or I'm not sure what it was really. But there was not much reverse out there. I thought Jimmy tried to get it to reverse at the end and he bowled really well. But the wicket was pretty flat, and I don't think the wicket was abrasive enough to create that much reverse swing for England. Yeah.
Where do you rate this 100 in terms of the hundreds that you've scored? I know that's probably a...
I think every 100 satisfying in a different way, but it's special if you get it in a winning cause. So I'm pretty happy.
Come on, going into the most crucial game against Australia, I think that we need to pick up on our fielding. Today it was. I don't think it was
quite a contrasting fielding performance from Cardiff to here. Cardiff, we were outstanding. I think we outfielded New Zealand, which is pretty tough to do, and here we were pretty poor. So we know that we need to lift every department of our game. So hopefully we can do that. But whatever happens on the field, the key is to try and win. And win at the end of the day. So that's what we'll be trying to do.